All right, so now we got a little idea what's going on with the Avengers there when we're going to get a trailer. So I want to stick with Marvel because next thing I was going to talk about was there's a new miniseries that it will be debuting on Disney Plus starting in January. And that is called Wonder Man. Now, Wonder Man is going to be starring, damn, I can't remember the guy's name, but it's, man, off the top of my head, it's the I can't remember how to say it, but it's Abdul Mateen, the gentleman that played Mr. Manhattan in the HBO series of Watchmen. Good actor, very good actor. He was in Candyman. But we got a little bit of news about Wonder Man and kind of what we're going to be expecting a little bit from the series. But Marvel today actually, surprisingly, released the runtimes for all 8 episodes of the TV series. And surprisingly to that, there are actually very short episodes. So let's check this out. So, as we know, Wonder Man debuts on Disney Plus next January, and the runtime for each episode now appears to have been revealed. Now, they're surprisingly short and suggested that Marvel television series will be a relatively breezy affair. As far as we're aware, the plan is for these episodes to release weekly, though we wouldn't be surprised if the first couple premiered on the same day. Marvel Studios has yet to announce an official release schedule. So we are aware that they are going to be dropping it in January, but they don't have an exact date of when. Now, before I go ahead and, display the runtimes for all 8 episodes, just to go ahead and give a little bit of context, Marvel normally is only producing about 6 episodes for their Disney Plus series, right? Hawkeye, Ironheart recently, Daredevil. Actually, Daredevil had more. But for the most part, most of the Disney Plus series usually have about 6 episodes, right? Even with the Star Wars ones as well. So, they're already going to be extending it by 2 episodes. So maybe that's the reason for the short runtime, right? Maybe they just kind of diluted some of these episodes so they can make another episode. However, with the longest episode of Wonder Man clocking in at 34 minutes and the shortest at 23 minutes, these runtimes are in the same ballpark as a sitcom, for example, rather than your usual 45 to 60 minutes for drama. Still, takes credit into account that the 23-minute episode is more likely to be around 18 to 19-minute mark. But here I am displaying, here's episode 1 through 8, and each of their runtimes, as you see there, 32 minutes, 32, 32, 30, 23, 34, 33, 32. So very short episodes. I'm curious what this is going to be about. I mean, from the teaser that we've gotten, I think they released a few weeks ago, it wasn't much. Like an actor trying to, involve it, trying to make his fortune in Hollywood. We did get a chance to see Ben Kingsley's character from the Iron Man movies. But from my perspective, if they are telling a good story, I'm not necessarily mad about the runtimes. I will be upset. But then flip it around, right? If I do enjoy it and I'm like, man, I want more of this, and then I'm getting these short episodes, similar to kind of what they did with Peacemaker in a way. Now, I don't think the show is going to be nowhere near as good as Peacemaker, but however, Peacemaker, we got some episodes like 35 minutes. It was like, what kind of shit is that, James Gunn? Why do that to us, man? We wait all week to get 30 minutes. Now, some of those episodes were just straight bangers. So I'm curious how Disney and the Wonder Man plan to do this. So based on, this actually comes from the New York Comic Con. This is said last month by the starring actor. He goes, I think it's the coolest thing to me that it doesn't feel like it's about superheroes. To me, it feels like it's about ambition, friendship, and dreams. I think just the idea of Simon being a guy who has something, who feels like he has something to offer. He feels like he is in this really big world with a really big talent that nobody knows about. And I think that's the very relatable thing is being ambitious and going after your dreams, the actor continued. We get to tell the story, do it in a clever and fun way with some attitude, and hide it in the infrastructure, the world of Marvel. It's really cool to be a part of something like this. So, let me know what you guys think of this runtime down below. Is this something that's going to steer you away? Probably not, shouldn't, right? I'm still going to check this out. It's Marvel. You know, I'm a nerd for this shit. But just got to go ahead and give a little, here's a synopsis for Wonder Man. It says, in Wonder Man, an aspiring Hollywood actor, Simon Williams, is struggling to get his career off the ground. During a chance meeting with Trevor Slately, an actor whose biggest role may be well behind him, Simon learns legendary director Von Kovic is remaking the superhero film Wonder Man. These two actors, at opposite ends of their career, Dodgeland pursues life-changing roles in this film as audience get a peek behind the curtain of the entertainment industry. The show stars, of course, Abdul Mantees II, Ben Kingsley, Arian Moayed, ex-Mayo, Oliver Thurbley, and Brian Bowers, Demetrius Gross, and John Pantalano are all expected to appear. Wonder Man is written by Andrew Guest, Paul Welsh, and Madeline Walters, Zeke Nicholson. Damn, they got a whole roster for this this damn thing. Directors on the series include Destin Daniel Cretton. That's pretty cool. That guy's going to be directing the new Spider-Man coming out. It's also James Paulsall, Tiffany Johnson, and Stell Meggy. I apologize if I don't know any of these individuals' names, but the show is created by Destin Daniel Cretton and Andrew Guest. Wonder Man executive producers are Kevin Feige. You know, the whole ordeals, and it actually has a premiere date for January 26th of 2026. So, are you guys excited for Wonder Man? Do you think this show is going to be good? I like the casting. I do. But with the trend of Disney Plus shows, you know, I'm not going to hold my breath on this one, okay? But as it comes out, I'm, of course, going to check it out. I'm going to watch it. I'll review it. And we'll discuss it, you know. But let me know what you guys think down below in the comments.